Bloomreaper the Invincible is an upcoming raid boss in Borderlands 4 and will be added to the game as a free content update later this month. I'm MentalMars and here is everything you need to know about Bloomreaper the Invincible. So this will be the first invincible endgame boss in Borderlands 4, and don't worry, the boss isn't really invincible. Gearbox just uses that descriptor for their endgame raid bosses. This means that the boss will have a huge health bar, mechanics, and is designed to challenge you and your max level build. Gearbox Software revealed Bloomreaper earlier this year at PAX Australia, as they revealed a giant creep that lives up in the mountainous area on Kairos. They didn't announce a specific release date and only stated that it will drop somewhere in December. But based on the pattern that Gearbox Software releases their patches, the community expects that the content will drop on December 18th. However, I know Gearbox Software always has a holiday break at the end of the year, therefore I think it might be possible that the content drops a bit earlier. Because if there is a major bug in this update, then they don't have to scramble developers to cook up a fix during the holiday break, which has happened in the past. So what can we expect from Bloomreaper the Invincible? Well, it's one of those supersized creeps that can bury itself and spawn additional enemies and hazards. We also know that the raid boss's health bar is protected by those vile crystals, as seen in the pre-released gameplay footage. The smaller creeps that run around the boss arena are also covered in these vile crystals. Therefore, I would recommend you bring a weapon that deals splash damage, as those can easily damage the crystals. And for the flesh health bar, you want to use your favorite incendiary weapon. The Gearbox developers mentioned during the PAX Australia panel that we will be dashing, sliding and grappling our way to find advantage points during this boss encounter, and that we'll be looking for the boss's weak spots. Looking at the enemy type, the health bar and the arena, I think Bloomreaper will bury itself from time to time and that its weak spots will be under the main platform. Therefore, you will have to jump down to one of the lower platforms and find the routes containing these critical spots. I think the first half of this boss fight will take place on the largest upper platform, and you will have to jump down to the middle platforms in order to find his critical weak spots. But the second half of the boss fight will probably take place on the medium-sized platforms, and that you will have to jump down to the smallest platforms in order to reach those critical hit spots. So keep your grappling lashes ready, because this might be one of those platforming challenges that Randy referred to. That said, challenges also bring rewards, as Bloomreaper the Invincible has 5 dedicated legendary items assigned to its loot pool. And one of them is called Mantra, and this one is themed around Amara. It shoots fists and it synergizes well with your melee builds. Fans have already started to speculate that the Mantra will act similarly to Borderlands 3's Face Puncher. Some find it a band-aid solution for melee builds in Borderlands. However, Borderlands has always been the gun game. Having a weapon that deals melee damage does allow for some clever builds that utilize mechanics in a different way. But let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And there's another thing that Grant Timmons mentioned in an interview, and that's that we will be unlocking new Ultimate Vault Hunter ranks and firmware when defeating raid bosses. So more challenges and build diversity is coming up. I'm curious to see what Gearbox Software is going to do with new firmware, and if this is the endgame content that everyone has been wanting. Are you excited about the upcoming raid boss? Because I am. And with that, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.